Vikings sniffing around some free agents. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus on this Friday morning, and Darren Wolfson dropping some news that the Vikings are got their sniffer out there for some potential free agents they're bringing in.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that. They didn't have practice yesterday, but the front office and coaching staff are busy looking at some potential new Minnesota Vikings. To me, this is a little bit of a shocking development. But before we get into that, be sure to remember this video is brought to you by Liftbridge Brewing Company. Gave us these fancy hats the other day and a bunch of beer. So check them out in your local liquor store, Liftbridge Brewing Company, or hit them up at the brewery in Stillwater. It's a beautiful facility. That will be doing a little Patreon video with my quick little tour of the brewery.
Ooh, nice. Can't wait. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 8,000 subs. Those subs have been ticking up lately. We appreciate it. Let's get the 8K. And you know what? If one of these guys are lucky, maybe they'll be making 8K this year. I mean, this is quite the list we got here.
Well, I think what's more important than, instead of who they brought in is these positions that they did bring in. I don't know if you want to go through this one by one or chunk it all up. What's your thoughts here?
Well, as you can tell, my shirt's on backwards. I was in such a jiffy to rip this video out with you. I look like a fool, but there's a common theme. So none of these players' names are going to knock your socks off. There is one curious name. But it seems like a lot of these guys have been drafted into the UFL and have really never played a snap in the NFL. And here they are. Here we got.
Yeah, Jonathan Adams, wide receiver, Matt Burrell, guard, Kevin Hogan, quarterback. Everybody's familiar with Kevin Hogan. Chidi Okeke, offensive tackle. Kahali Waring, the tight end. He was a third-round pick of the Houston Texans a couple years ago. Jared Williams, another offensive tackle. So is it safe to say the Vikings are concerned with some of these positions, and that's why they're bringing these guys in?
Well, offensive tackle, I've been harping on that one. I guess I was hoping for somebody that has actually maybe played. To me, a lot of these seem like just camp bodies. It's really rude to say they seem like camp bodies, except for Kevin Hogan. Let's talk Kevin Hogan. What the hell is going on? Why would we bring in Kevin Hogan? There is a connection. Kevin O'Connell, the Washington.
Both named Kevin.
That as well, but the Washington traded for Kevin Hogan in 2018. They gave up a couple late draft picks to get him when Kevin O'Connell was the quarterback's coach. And then they ended up releasing him anyways that same year before final cut. So Kevin O'Connell is definitely familiar with Kevin Hogan, but John Manning, Kellen Mond, where does Kevin Hogan fit in?
Well, the timing is very curious here because you look at the practice Kellen Mond just had, I think it was 4 or 5 botched snaps, throwing the ball all over the place. John Manning not looking much better. Now you also need to bring in a quarterback to work out on your off day. I mean, I think it's fair to look at that a little bit. Maybe they're not happy with the development of Kellen Mond and also just don't trust Sean Mannion. So Kevin Hogan, a familiar face. The guy has hung around the league for, God, what's it been?
Well, it seems like he should be about 55 years old, but he's only 29.
Well, he had a 4-year gap where he didn't play any football. So I don't know what he was doing there. But he's back. He did come back last year for the Tennessee Titans. But, yeah, that one to me really stuck out. And also, I wasn't surprised that they brought in tight ends, tackles, and a quarterback. To me, it was the guard and the wide receiver, especially. Like, why are you working on wide receiver? You guys are, pretty deep here at wide receiver. So I was surprised by that one. But I do want to mention Kahali Waring, the tight end. I mean, he was a third-round pick. So, I mean, obviously there's some talent here. And I would have really rather see a guy who's been a little more productive and done it a little bit longer, like a crusty veteran. But Waring, I mean, if he's got something left in the tank, he wants something to prove. I mean, he is a talented player. Physically, just never really put it together.
I don't think he is very talented. He's been on like 7 teams in the last 3 years. I mean, I don't want to knock him down too much. He's obviously athletic, but everybody's cut him. He's been on like 6 teams. So I don't think – I mean, I like they're doing their due diligence. I like that they're bringing guys in. Kevin Hogan is still just the one that pops up to me. I don't think they look at Kevin Hogan as an upgrade to either of their current backup quarterbacks. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But camp bodies at best. A lot of UFLers.
Yeah, again, it's just the timing to me. It makes you wonder if after the first week and couple of days of practice, maybe they don't like what they see at a couple of positions. But yeah, none of these guys are really going to be overly exciting to any Vikings fans here. There's no J.C. Treader here. There's no Kong Su. You don't need to work those guys out, but there's no big names here that are going to get anybody's parts tingling.
I'll tell you one thing. If Jonathan Adams is coming in to possibly take Thomas Hennigan's job, there's going to be issues. There's going to be issues, mister.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm not worried about that one bit. Not at all. All right, let us know what you guys think of these guys the Vikings brought in. Do you want them to sign any of them? Is there nothing to this? Are we overreacting? Or are they really concerned about that quarterback position? And Kevin Hogan is the answer.
Oh, wow.
Kevin Hogan.
Hit up Lift Bridge. Hit that sub button. And let's get Lupagus another cup of coffee. He's unwell.
Oh, feels great. And remember this, 7-foot tall penguins used to roam Antarctica 37 million years ago.